Howdy, howdy, everybody. This is Fatheree. I'm here with my good friend Starfleet Boy, and we're
Hello.
going to talk about my recent outing on board the Star Trek Cruise 2022. Or Star Trek The Cruise 5. They give them all numbers with Roman numerals like their movie sequels or
Like
something.
movies, it's pretty cool. Look at
But yeah,
look at a lot of folks want to know what happened on the cruise. There's quite a few folks in the audience already.
there must not be much else in Star Trek going on right now to talk about, and like there must not be any new shows that anyone's watching, or like because like you have like a production team releasing a bunch of behind the scenes information on social media or anything,
No,
or just like a
none of that.
unprecedented level of interactivity with the fandom, the most engaged I've seen it in decades, possibly ever in my life. So yeah, we'll just talk about this Star Trek cruise since there's nothing else going on.
We'll give Triangulum Audio Studios a really good debrief here. I promise
Give him a
to be
shout
real
out.
thorough.
His little winky face on there. Um, yeah, I see we have several people. Arthur's here, Blue is here, Joel is here, Pastel Pirate is here. So we should just go ahead and delve in. And I do have some images, so we're gonna be very interactive with some visual presentation as well.
Excellent. Hey, tell us real quick. How many times have you been on this Star Trek cruise?
This is the second time I've done it. The previous time I went was in 2018, and I have a video and a podcast episode, both dedicated to that, so people can
Yeah,
go
that's
check
right.
those out. But yeah, it had been a while, so I was due for a return, and I also got to have the honor, the pleasure, and the glory of hanging out with you for the first time ever. We had never done that
Yeah, we
before
met in
in
person. It
person.
was crazy and cool. It was very wild. We made the trek up. I took a long range shuttle with my pal Ruben, with the Martian, who also comes on Starfleet Boys program. There we are in front of the in front of the Vasquez Rocks 2. Uh,
Yeah, at the Radisson Hotel in Port Canaveral, Florida.
You know what was weird about it? There was definitely a lot of folks on there that I recognized from Twitter, but I didn't know their names. I just knew their handles, or I thought I knew their handles, so I couldn't be like, "Yo, you over there, multiplasic field generator 6, how you doing?" So that was pretty cool. But it was great to meet you. You're not as tall as I imagined you. I always imagined you as like 6'3" or something for
I
some
tried
weird
telling you I
reason.
was only 5'10", so I don't know why you
I
had
know,
me.
but that was my big thought. Here we are. We're all chumming. Father, you tell everyone why you're always drinking a beer, bro.
I'm not just like in these pictures. I am. I
No,
was
I know,
trying to
it's easy.
pregame before the cruise.
Yeah, you were doing good.
This is actually I was waiting to meet y'all all day Friday. Me and Antonio were like at a bar, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they'll be here like any minute now." And then it's like,
Lies.
what's the SpongeBob meme? It's like 4 hours later or whatever. Me and Antonio were getting all plastered at the bar, waiting on y'all. Um, but yeah, that was a lot of fun, and that kicked off the adventure for me. Because then I got to go on board with our friend Trek Cat or Dadmiral or Ian, whatever you want to call him. He's
Yeah,
also featured here with you, me, and Ruben.
that was wild meeting him too. It was pretty cool. Oh, what's going on over here? Is this the appetizer as soon as you board the ship?
That was one of the first things I saw stepping on board the ship was the SETI Ill. When I went to they have all the bars are all themed for Star Trek, just different names that they give them. For example, like this is at Khan's Cantina. But yeah, they have a SETI Ill. You don't want to like let it out of its cage or anything or disturb it too much.
Father, was it like moving around, or was it just like a still prop?
I think it was asleep when I
Oh,
saw it
gotcha.
there, but they also had like renamed like their drinks and stuff, and you just see that like all the venues as soon as you go on there, they have everything is Trekified as far as like menus, as far as decor, as far as the name of the venues.
Look at
So
that.
yeah,
So
this place that I'm at here, I think it was a bar that was um, just exclusively playing episodes of The Next Generation on repeat to celebrate their 35th anniversary, right? Yeah, 35 years.
okay.
But yeah, if you have any questions or anything, or if anyone in our audience has any questions, please shoot away, and I'll just flip through some visuals as we go along. But
Here's
uh,
Fatheree with a smile. So, Karma Recycled 81, your wish is granted. I do have a quick question about the cocktails and the drinks. Did you try them all?
I didn't try them all. I'd like to, but the different bars had like different options.
Go back to that
So
feature on the ship. Is this the same ship you went on the previous?
no, the last time it was a different cruise line. It was much smaller of a ship. It was the Norwegian Jade. This was with the Royal Caribbean Mariner of the Seas. So a much bigger cruise ship. I guess there's some that are even bigger than it, but I thought this one was pretty damn big.
Wow,
And
and there's like about 5,000 people or something like that. It could
yeah,
at least
yeah,
fit
it
that
holds
many.
thousands of people. I think there were 3,000 of us on board. But yeah, and
Look at that. That's cool.
it it was cool to see that many Star Trek fans, all together again, because the only other time you get that experience is at like, one of the big conventions like Vegas, and there's a lot of convention-y type of things going on the cruise. They have a lot of panels with the actors and stuff like that. People doing cosplay, but there's a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else, like all the things that you would typically enjoy on a cruise ship, and then things that you wouldn't get at either a typical cruise or a typical convention, like some of the actors using their talents in different types of performances than what we were used to. For example, Anthony Rapp, very talented singer, performed a concert. John Delancey directed. I don't know if anyone else remembers this, but they used to do it on the Sci-Fi Channel. They had I think it was called Alien Voices, where they would do like these audio dramas live on stage. It was Delancey and Nimoy were the ones doing it. They did like adaptations of old science fiction novels, but one of the ones they did was The Lost World. I got to see them recreate that with the various actors on board the ship. One night they did Star Trek Squares, which was like Hollywood Squares, except with Star Trek actors.
Oh, that's great.
George Takei is the center square, of course. And so that was hilarious. So yeah, there's a lot of cool cruise things, like going on excursions or hanging out on the ship and all that. There's a lot of cool convention things, like seeing panels, doing autographs or photo ops. And then there are some things that you just can't find anywhere except for on the Star Trek cruise.
Like things that stay on the Star Trek cruise that you can't talk about, or just
No, but I'm just saying like those types of performances and whatnot.
right. And also, it's 7 freaking days, right? Like most conventions are just over a weekend, also. So
Yeah.
so that's a pretty good amount of time. Oh, here's Hikaru's Sushi and Hibachi. That's the restaurant.
Yeah,
That's
so
pretty
they
cool.
re-themed their Japanese food restaurant to be a Sulu restaurant. So obviously, like, of course you would do that, right? That'd be
Yeah, of
uh,
course.
a weird one not to do.
Look at that cake. So what happens with that cake? Do they like
They
serve
cut
the
it up
first
and
day?
served it
That's
out.
awesome.
I didn't actually get to try any of it, but I did get some pictures of it.
Wait, what was that last place you were at?
That was the
just there?
captain's retreat.
Oh, and what's that? Like another bar, I guess?
Yeah, it's like their nautical themed bar when they're not Star Trekified the ship. But
Gotcha.
here's just kind of the I guess it's where you would imagine like your high ranking officers might go to visit each other on the starbase or something.
Right on. I like it. I like the portholes look like the DS9 windows back there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was right next to Quark's Casino too.
Oh, there's a gambling. That's right.
Yeah, international waters, baby.
Look at that. So this is day 1 here. You guys still haven't set sail, or you're already
Right, so
fully
this is right
underway?
before our launch party when the ship was about to take off and we're all ready to get the hell out of Florida. No offense, but it's funny.
None taken.
The cruise is also doing an '80s themed cruise this week right now. And I think they had a lot of like the music videos and stuff. Like we noticed they were playing like a lot of like here is Prince on screen right here, but they were playing a bunch of '80s music videos and stuff when we were getting ready to take off.
That's funny.
So that was interesting. But
Hey, that's a great photo right there of you. I like
yeah,
that.
this is me on day 1 at the very back of the ship. So literally everyone on the ship is in front of me, I'm the closest one to Florida at this point, and I have a smile on my face because that's Florida and the back way and out in the horizon in the background behind me, and I'm just chilling on top of the ship in a hammock, drinking a cerveza.
Oh man, they had like hammocks and stuff. This is the life here. I'm getting so jealous right now. I'm getting so much FOMO. Here we are dressing up. Look at that.
Yeah,
Now,
so
this is
I dress
your
up at conventions or the cruise, stuff like that. So
yeah, well done. This is the the Discovery era
Discovery Season 2 / Short Treks Enterprise uniforms,
Enterprise uniforms. Yeah,
which I wish they were keeping for Strange New Worlds. I'm going to continue to wear this one because I like it more than the new ones. I got to see the new ones. I got to see like the real like screen used new ones. They had them on display on the ship.
I know we saw it was a scoop. We got like Trexphere was tweeting some of your stuff, and it was cool. It was cool to see them up close and the details. What'd you think of them since you saw them in person? Do you feel a little warmer to them, or you still like the?
I do actually. I do like them more now.
Yeah.
The other one's just my preference. I liked the asymmetrical collar. A lot of people complained about it. I like kind of like jackety uniforms or wraparound uniforms or something like zips up down the middle. So it just checked a lot of boxes for me.
Excellent. Now, this is the promenade or something?
This is a picture of the promenade, just to give you a little bit of idea of the size of the ship. This is kind of like inside in the middle of it, where you have like stores and bars and restaurants like along the sides of it. So it's kind of like, a little city street that you can walk down. I don't know why there's a car there with stuffed animals sitting inside of it, like they're gonna drive it away or something. But that's a thing that they have there.
Is that a Gorn in a toga?
That is a Gorn. So the first night, the theme was toga night. I did not wear a toga because I wanted to wear a Starfleet uniform. I can wear a toga anywhere. Yeah, so I was running around in this uniform while everyone else was wearing togas. But we had a toga picture. Party. Yeah, the band kicked the cruise off with a big toga party. And then the next morning, so get this, so hell, like we didn't even get on board the ship until the afternoon on that Saturday, and then the next morning I am laying out on the beach in the Bahamas.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it was. It really helped us start the adventure off on a good foot, and it was.
So like the ship docked overnight, I guess, or something, right?
Well, early in the morning.
Or early in the morning, and then y'all were. How'd you get when you disembark from the ship? Is it at a port just like it was in Florida, or do you have to take a boat, like another cruiser or something that takes you down closer?
No, you just step off onto this big pier type thing, and
oh, cool.
You have different excursions available as options at some of these ports. Here we did like this little bus tour that took us to the beach, and they gave us lunch, and it was just nice. It was beautiful crystal blue water. Like none of the water near Texas looks anywhere near that gorgeous.
How much time do you have at the port? Like, do they spend the whole day there?
It depends. The Bahamas, we were only there for like half a day, but then when we went to the Virgin Islands, we were there like we didn't get there until maybe noonish, but then we were there till 9 p.m. at night.
Oh, right on.
The thing is, you just want to make sure that you have your ass back on the boat before it's time to take off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, this is where it was docked in the Bahamas.
Looks cool. It's a nice dock. Joel in the comment says earlier for the car inside the promenade, lower decks vibes. It's true, like on the starbase. It's true.
When they're driving the Argo around that starbase. But this is a picture of us leaving the Bahamas, and yeah, it was just
beautiful. My gosh.
Yeah, it was beautiful, but you know what? That wasn't even the best port on this entire trip, in my opinion. So the best.
How many ports of call did you stop at?
3. So we did the Bahamas on day 2 of the cruise. Day 3 was a sea day. Day 4 we were in the American Virgin Islands. Day 5 we were in Saint Martin, which is a half Dutch, half French island.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had 2 more cruise days before the end on days 6 and 7. Yeah, so.
Oh, right on. It's a pretty boat. Look at that background. Look at that beautiful sunset behind you there, and
Yeah, I'm wearing a Badgie t-shirt.
yeah, I see
too,
that.
So that's, I don't know why I think that's funny, but also another popular activity is people like to decorate their doors. And they actually do a door decoration contest. So here's just like some of the doors near our cabin, which these are all on Decade. I think Decade had the coolest door decorations.
Did you decorate your door?
We didn't, but we're actually going next year on cruise number 6.
Oh, right on.
'Cause we don't go every year. Our plan is to kind of go every other year.
Mm-hmm.
But we skipped 3 and 4 both, so we're kind of making up for it now with 5 and 6. But we have talked about decorating a door. I think we might. Antonia is a lot more crafty than I am. But it's also kind of a thing where she would be the one having to do most of the work.
Shout out to this door. They had the one that just passed.
This door was our next door neighbor, and she's a recent divorcee from Canada who wanted to let everyone know she was single and ready to mingle. So,
right on.
I never saw her, but I assume she was busy and having a good time.
So I guess maybe this is a secret of the cruise, but couldn't she have just put out a Horgon?
You did see some people walking around, especially at the Festival of the Moon night.
Right,
but I don't know who means that sincerely, like who is actually out there looking for Jamaharan and who just wants to carry around
if you see me carrying a Horgon, it's legit real is all I gotta say. I'm seeking Jahamaran, if that's the case. Wait, did I say Jamaharan?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fun that there's that little thing. The captain's retreat again.
Oh yeah, here's some more pictures I took within the captain's retreat.
This was
Chase I think the second night. Yeah, so one of the types of shows that you can see is Chase Masterson, who played Lita on DS9, and Max Gredenchik, who played Rom on DS9. They did a really cute, really funny musical duet together that they had not really rehearsed or anything. It seemed like you get the impression they kind of threw it together at last minute. And in this picture, you also see the keyboard player from Tim Russ's band, who we also saw them play live. But yeah, Chase Masterson is a sweetheart, and Max Grudenchik is great and funny. He's so like Rom in real life. He's so like he's always kind of like awkward. He feels like he's always kind of like nervous and unprepared. He's like whoa, okay, yeah, let's do that song. He's always like that. He's
brother.
Yeah. So it was cool seeing the two of them, and they still have the great chemistry that they had in the show.
She looks fantastic, if I may say, Chase Masterson in that blue dress. Oh, and speaking of looking fantastic, yeah.
This is I guess Captain Fatheree. I don't like being a captain. I feel like everyone on Tex-Trek is just permanently an ensign or lower. Like you might still be a cadet, but yeah. This is me channeling my inner Cisco. This was actually on the 20s night, on the second night of the cruise. The theme was the roaring 20s in the holodeck. And I know some people actually dressed up as Picard from the holodeck in Star Trek First Contact, when he had the white tuxedo. This is what he was actually wearing in that holodeck, though, under the holographic clothes that appeared on him.
That's right.
So I felt it was appropriate.
And I'm sure there were a lot of piece of the action type of...
Oh, yeah. In fact, I have some of that.
You got a piece of that action?
I have some images of piece of the action cosplay that I can show you right here.
Oh, it's the video. Cool.
Look at that. You see that Kirk and Spock from Piece of the Action?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so those guys were great. They were spot on, Kirk and Spock in Piece of the Action.
Great, well done.
The pinstripe suits. And a lot of flappers and the Andorian Mafia.
Oh my gosh, what?
The Andorian mobsters showed up too.
That's so fantastic.
Infinite diversity and infinite combinations. And like I was talking about with the Starfleet Museum is what they called the presentation. I don't have all the pictures in here. There's a lot more if you go look at my Twitter post. But yeah, they had the uniforms from Discovery, the uniforms from Strange New Worlds, and I got
Cool.
some really good. I could literally put my eyeball like right up against it if I wanted to. I got some up close and personal looks at these
Yeah, look at
these
that.
new designs, and
I'm
uh,
so ready for these uniforms. I feel
yeah,
like they
I'm super excited. I'm
very
so
cool.
excited for that show. We are truly in the golden age again with what we're getting now with Picard, with Strange New Worlds on the horizon.
Nuts. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't believe what Star Trek is right now. It's awesome. Um, Look at that Spock. So you had Spock, Kirk, and Uhura on
and number
display. It looks
one.
like and number one. That's cool.
So I guess
So
I think they're not gonna do the mini skirts, but they do have a
a
woman
skirt.
variant, I guess, that's just shaped a little different, which I guess still might be kind of weird. Oh, but some of the props they had from recent Discovery episodes
Oh
included
yeah, we
like
just saw
those
that a couple
those
weeks ago.
poker cards from All In. So finally get like a good look at those and see what all the aliens were on there. And this is just Dr. Tiana cosplayer. This was at the t-shirt party where they had free drinks at the pool. For everyone got their cruise t-shirt because they give you free gifts every day when we would at night when we'd come back to the cabin. We'd have a sorry, that's my dog making a lot of noise.
No
Um,
worries.
they would have gifts for us waiting on the bed. This is actually Dr. Erin McDonald uh, leading us in a whiskey tasting because she's a big fan of Scotch whiskey. I mean, her name is McDonald.
Yep.
She's
Makes
actually an
sense.
incredibly Scottish person in real life. Her family immigrated from Scotland, and then she went to university
Oh,
in
okay.
Scotland. So it's like that
Oh, we
culture
should
is like super
connect her with
infused
our
in her.
Scottish friends. I'm sure she can connect herself. But I heard she got proposed to on the cruise too,
Yeah,
right?
and
Yeah.
her fiance is also named Aaron. Of course, he spells it Aaron, and she spells
Right.
hers Erin,
Right.
because how we typically spell those for boys and girls. But this is the Enterprise panel that's moderated by Chase Masterson there
It's
on
a
the
big
left.
stage. Wow. It's pretty cool.
But yeah, that was Anthony Montgomery, Connor Trenier, and Dr. Phlox himself, John Billingsley. Let me
Hold
tell
on.
you, this panel was one of the most hilarious things I've ever witnessed in my life. Just
Wow.
let me explain the situation. Is I guess before the panel started, John Billingsley grabbed a microphone and was trying to get the audience primed for this, and he was telling them like, "I want you to ask the most embarrassing questions you could possibly think of. As soon as Anthony and Connor get here, think of whatever you think might be the most difficult question for them to answer that would just shame them permanently. Whoever here asks the most embarrassing fucking question, I will buy you a drink myself at the bar." So he
I
was getting
love
the
him.
crowd into it. I didn't know what was going on because I was coming from something else. I was almost late getting to the panel. In fact, Connor Trenier was in front of me, running down the stairs to get in there, and I was and I could hear like John Billingsley like yelling on the microphone and something. And anyways, we step in there, and it just goes so totally off the rails. Poor Chase Masterson trying to moderate this thing, but it was. I mean, these guys are so hilarious, and they have such charisma, and it kind of annoyed me that the show they were on didn't always utilize them
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like I wish yes. That's one of the failings of some of the older that era. It's like everything's so like professional.
Rick Berman was not good at finding the funny people and giving them funny stuff to do.
Yeah.
Garrett Wong is hilarious in real life. Marina Sirtis is hilarious in real life.
Oh
But
yeah.
Troy and Harry Kim never got a lot of funny stuff to do.
Indeed.
But yeah, this I liked this panel possibly more than any episode of Enterprise itself. And I'm not like an Enterprise hater or anything. Like I love Enterprise season 4. So
By the way, Connor Trenier does he's also come into the podcast YouTube world with Dominic Keating, and they have a podcast called Shuttlepod One. If you don't mind me shouting him out, I just did, so whatever. Now you have to just bleep it out later. But no, just kidding.
Connor Trenier, this one woman said to him, "Thank you for staying sexy. All the other men in Star Trek I was attracted to turned into old grandpas, but not you." What were some of the
Wow.
other like weird
That's
questions they got?
hilarious.
Oh, people were also like asking him if he'd strip down. He didn't. At one point, John Billingsley actually did like drop his pants and reveal his underwear. Um, Anthony Montgomery is also so lively and energetic, and he just loves, being in front of an audience, getting to interact with fans and stuff. And you could tell he was having a fun time. Poor Chase was trying to like maintain some sense of structure to this panel. And Antonia, what were some of the funny questions that happened during the Enterprise panel?
I saw a clip that might have had something to do with something where he's telling someone, "No, I'm not David Ajala," or something like that.
Oh yeah, Anthony Montgomery was like, someone had like, I guess thought he was David Ajala, a book on Discovery, and he's like, I was like, yeah, people keep coming up to me and talking to me about my cat. Like, I'm not that dude. That's a different dude. Not all black guys look the same. But yeah, I see in the comments, Keith Alexander W. That was a friend of mine and Antonia's, Julie Miller. She asked the final question, which that was not exactly what it was. She asked who had the biggest one out of all of the Enterprise actors. And to which Anthony Montgomery said, who did you think? It was obviously me. But yeah, that was they did have some very lovely words to say about Scott Bakula. They have a lot of respect for him. They said he was great to be number one on the call sheet. He was a really, really good dude to work with, it sounds like.
I think he just seems so wholesome and awesome, I think he probably is.
This
What's
is the
his
Voyager
panel?
documentary panel. So that's Robert Picardo, Garrett Wong, Tim Russ, Ryan T. Husk. And the name of the next dude escapes me, but he's one of the guys who's working on the documentary. And then that's Lolita Fat Joe there on the far right, who was a script coordinator in the 90s and is working on the documentary To the Voyage. But yeah, cool to see them. Tim Russ had some funny stories talking about one of the things they do on the crew is the TV in your cabin. It plays Star Trek all day long. So if you wanted to just lay back and relax in your cabin, you could do that and just watch Star Trek. And there's like
Voyager
a different
channel for each show. Yeah.
There's an Enterprise channel, original series channel. Tim Russ said he laid in there and he was watching some Voyager episodes that he had never watched before. And he said he'd never seen Tuvix, and he was watching.
No way.
Yeah. And Garrett Wong was like, "Oh, you've never seen Tuvix?"
Oh yeah, so you witnessed the birth of him seeing Tuvix. It's crazy.
It was like his
Tim
reaction
Russ.
to it.
So what was his reaction to Tuvix? Did he say anything about it? What camp is he on?
He thought it was like well done. He was just like he didn't really. I don't know if he's aware like the controversy there, but he's just like it's just like yeah he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go at the end. Tim Russ, I think sometimes he can be like a little cranky at conventions if he's if he's a little if he's having a long day or signing a bunch of autographs and stuff. But I'll tell you what, he was so happy and energetic and enthused. I think largely because like he was getting to do something that he really loves and has fun with and cares about, and that is his music. Yeah, and so here's a picture of him playing the guitar at the concert he did that we went to.
He looks cool with that guitar. What kind of music is it, Fatheree?
Just rock and roll, just classic rock.
Cool. And it's stuff Tim Russ wrote himself, or just
some of his original music, some covers and stuff.
Right on.
Like 70s rock type stuff.
Whoa, is that day 2 gift?
Yeah, this is a few gifts. That's our poster. It's wrapped up in that tube. The cruise cap and the cruise shirt.
Oh, did everyone who was on the guest list make it?
Yeah. There were no. I mean, the roster changes, over time. Like they already have the roster announced for next year, and I can promise you, there's going to be additions and some subtractions because work comes up for these actors and stuff. For example, Ethan Phillips, and this was weeks and weeks ago, but Ethan Phillips was supposed to be there. He got a job on a movie.
Okay,
so he was busy with that. Jonathan Frakes, I think, was busy directing something. But yeah, this is the poster with all of the characters of all the actors that were there. So for the original series, we had Walter and George. For Next Generation, not much, just Denise Crosby who's kind of cut off there, and then John Delancey as Q. A lot of DS9 with Nana, Max, Chase, Casey Biggs, who plays Damar, Sirach Lofton, and then I guess they lumped in Robert O'Reilly with DS9 instead of TNG, which he actually appears more on DS9 as Martok than Next Generation. Voyager, we had Robert Picardo, Garrett Wong, Tim Russ. Enterprise, I just talked about those three. A lot of disco. We had Sonequa Martin Green, Anthony Rapp, Wilson Cruz, Kenneth Mitchell, Mary Chieffo, Emily Coots, and Jane Brooks. And then for Picard, we had the two youngsters, Issa Briones and Ivan Evagora.
Yeah, that's very cool. What's that? What's going on there?
Oh, that's the back of the cruise t-shirt.
Oh, cool. Fatheree, are there opportunities to just like chat with? Do the performers, the actors, come and hang out with folks at the bars or anything like that?
It's up to the actor. Some of them are more chummy than others. I actually heard that like last cruise, Star Trek: The Cruise 4, which I didn't go on, I heard the actors were even more interactive there than they were this year.
I imagine this year folks are being still a little cautious, right, after the pandemic, but, you know, who knows?
I mean, that could be part of it. They also, like, typically schedule excursions with the actors, and they weren't doing that this year because there was a lot of uncertainty over, you know, how the excursion situation would look, you know, at the time of the actual cruise. And, you know, like a lot of the ports, you know, some of these countries, you know, they still want you, you know, wearing your masks everywhere and stuff like that. So, which, you know, that's fine. You know, we were willing to comply to all of those things. This is on night 3, was Mirror Universe themed night. So this is actually a picture of Mirror Fatheree, the Fatheree from the Mirror Universe.
Now, Mirror Father's also appeared on Tex-Trek, right?
Yes, and he actually did a quick YouTube video just updating the Tex-Trek audience on day 3. There were some occasional updates that I was getting out there.
Some eagle-eyed Tex-Trekkers noticed that...
Stress-Free K.
Yes, Stress-Free K noticed that Mirror Fatheree drinks cocktails, whereas...
no, not just any cocktails, he drinks strawberry daiquiris.
Strawberry daiquiris, specifically.
Yeah, he's really into strawberry daiquiris.
That's awesome.
But, you know, in the Mirror Universe, that's probably considered like a real manly drink, you know?
Yeah, I bet that's true.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's happy that someone's taking a picture of him right here.
Right after that, he throws his drink down and gets into a fight. Who's this?
That is Emperor Giorgio about to be assassinated.
Oh, I see it. Yes.
So, yeah, some really great cosplay. I mean, this is just like phenomenal work. If you like the detail here, the cosplayers really impressed me. I'm not a cosplayer. I typically just buy a uniform someone else made. I need to talk about the coolest thing that happened on the cruise, though.
Oh, okay.
And that was the Sonequa Martin Green getting the crowd pumped for Kenneth Mitchell.
So is this his act that he did? So that's awesome.
This is the night of the House of Core rave, which is hosted by Kenneth Mitchell.
That's awesome.
Now, for people who might not know or might not remember, Kenneth Mitchell, the actor who played Cole, among other characters in Star Trek Discovery, was diagnosed with ALS shortly before the last cruise, and he announced it to the public on that cruise. That was the first time I guess he was like using a wheelchair in public. And during one of the events there, Anson Mount, who I'm sad wasn't on this cruise, but he was there, he got the crowd to, you know, body surf Kenneth Mitchell around.
Oh, right.
And I felt like Sonequa Martin Green was magnificent here, introducing him and getting us all pumped up. And
That's awesome.
this is you didn't ask, but the coolest thing I saw on the cruise was this night, because of all of the love and support for Kenneth Mitchell and the number of Star Trek actors that came out on stage to party, to dance. Also, this is Wilson Cruz, and now every time I see Dr. Culber on Star Trek Discovery, I can't help but like think about his dance moves right here.
That's
Where
awesome.
he just went crazy on the stage with Sonequa Martin Green.
I haven't been to a rave since I was very young. I wish I was at that rave. Was it a fun rave? Like, was it legit?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I only stayed for like an hour because like I can't handle the repetitive electronic music past that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Look at Wilson and Sonequa.
They're awesome. Yeah, they're dancing. They're doing some really cool moves there. A little disco, a little salsa. Hey, they're living up to their names. But okay, so he hosted this rave, but also I heard there's another event that he hosted, right? Was it a comedy event or something like that?
Yeah, he actually did the comedy. He opened for Garrett Wong's comedy show.
Now, Ken Mitchell can't use his regular vocal cords anymore,
but he can pre-record stuff. Yeah, like
right,
Stephen
okay.
Hawking. He uses like the Stephen Hawking method.
That's cool. I mean, it's not cool. I'm sorry, but it is cool because
it's cool that technology can give him that option.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's
option.
Kenneth, there's Wilson, there's Anthony Montgomery, there's Denise Crosby, Connor Trenier, Sonequa Martin Green. But like almost all the Star Trek actors that are under 60 years old, showed up to get on stage and party. Robert Picardo was there, Nana Visitors was there. That's actually, incredible. I turned around, that was Anthony Rapp and his husband were standing right behind me dancing. If you
awesome.
saw like a short blonde dude back here behind me, I didn't even realize Anthony Rapp was behind me. Until
you just realized it now? You've been
around.
Watching back your video? You didn't know?
No, I realized it.
At the thing.
Yeah. Okay, this short blonde guy right here, and then this guy with dark hair right here.
Fatheree, sure.
That's
Anthony Rapp. We believe. No, I'm just kidding. It looks like the top of Anthony Rapp's head. Very, very cool.
And then the next day, we got to go to the Virgin Islands. So,
and this is your favorite port, right?
No, that's not even my favorite.
Oh, okay.
I noticed there were a lot of iguanas there.
I noticed that there was this like dude on a stilt or something like that. It just reminded me of a funny comment someone made that they're afraid of.
Our friend Trick on the Tube says he's scared of people on stilts. Yeah, I didn't do much in the Virgin Islands. Just kind of walked around by the port.
This would have been wearing a cosplay here. As Riker from Angel One. This place, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you were gonna cosplay as Riker from Angel One, this would be where to do it.
I tried to get footage of these iguanas doing something, but they're really camera shy. So like whenever I pulled out my phone, they would just stop moving.
Dang, there's a lot of them. Wow. And I bet they just stay still, right? Isn't that an iguana thing?
Well.
Oh no, they're
like
moving around.
Puff out their throats and stuff.
Whenever I try to record video, they stop doing anything.
Yeah, as I explained there, like they didn't want to perform. Yeah. They're like, no, like we need to get paid at the same rates as these Star Trek actors, or else we're not gonna do anything to entertain you.
Iguanas are wild. They freeze at some point in the when sometimes it gets cold enough down here in South Florida, and they start falling out of trees.
They're not native to Florida though, but they're
it's true.
They're native to the Virgin Islands, I think. Yeah, it was a very, very beautiful location, very Caribbean. That's Khan's Cantina. I got some better pictures of it. We actually did a Khan screaming contest where we screamed Khan.
Is that the actual
I don't
costume?
Think this is it might be.
Wow.
I don't know.
Maybe I thought all that stuff would have been sold off by now.
No, Paramount still has a lot of it in there. Well, yeah, I don't know. Like 20, 30 years ago, they still had a lot of it.
Gosh, I'd love the opportunity to just put that. I don't have a chest quite like the
Ricardo Montalban. Not many people do.
Montalban, but
by the way, Walter Koenig on the cruise, he did reiterate. He was like, "Yes, that was his real chest."
I think that's hilarious that's a controversy that anyone like worries about.
This towel was another gift that we got.
Beautiful
Star Trek the Cruise beach towel.
Did you all use it, or did you get to use it on the beach?
We have our own Citation Ops towels that have Kumalo and Matt on them.
Nice.
But we were talking about having Horgons and Jamaharan. This is the Ryza Festival of the Moon
beautiful
party that was on top of the ship. where these two Ryzens took a picture with me, and there was a
Fatheree,
lot
it
of
looks
really
like
good
you
cosplay.
got laid a lot. You had a lot of lays.
Oh yeah. There were. It was actually just one big lay wrapped around a lot.
Okay, gotcha.
There's a Ferengi woman handing out Horgon stickers. I met quite a few alien visitors. Me and Antonia here playing the game.
Oh my gosh, everyone
From the
thought she was.
game.
We've only seen Antonia disembodied, right? Has she ever been on Tex-Trek before?
No.
Oh, there you go, everyone. By the way, Antonia looks hot there. So do you. You look pretty good too.
Yeah.
Now that prop. Wait. So you went past it, but I have a question about the game prop. Like, is that yours? Did you find that somewhere?
No. Some friends that we met on the ship, or friends that we made rather. They were doing some really cool cosplay, and then one night they were walking around with these things on. They're like, "Oh, you got to try this game. Come here, Fatheree, try this game." And then they were taking pictures of people wearing their headsets. So this is me when I hit level 47, obviously. As you can tell by the look on my face.
Absolutely. That's a great photo. I love that photo. It's pretty awesome.
I think so.
Oh,
too.
hey.
There's I don't know if you can see her spots, but
Oh yeah. Was this maybe the same young lady we saw earlier that had just gotten fresh actual tattoos? Do you remember that?
I don't think so.
When we were at
think that
the
was-
party with Vasquez Rocks 2, there was a young
Oh
lady.
yes. I remember that now.
She had like
Man,
tattoos that she
So
had
how
just
I
gotten
drank
fresh.
so much that day, waiting on you to show up, that I barely remember that. But yes,
You were great. You know, you can hold your liquor pretty well, because that's like how I am like after like one beer, but I get wasted pretty quickly. So you were doing pretty good. You were pretty stable. And we ate Puerto Rican food that night,
comes
by
with
the
practice. Yeah, but we didn't have, what is it that Colbert was drinking? Mati? What was it that Burnham gave him in that last episode of Disco?
way. Oh, I don't remember. I gotta.
Whatever it was, it's like, well, I just tried some Puerto Rican food, but I didn't have that. Whatever it is. These are just pictures of the band from the party playing on top of the ship. Which, if I had one complaint, I would say like they should have done more stuff on top of the ship. I thought it was fun to like hang out up there.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Here are
Whoa.
some other friends we made who they like to wear these dog hoods, but they were having a lot of fun on the ship.
I know all about that scene.
Well, that's not something that I really knew of, but
They're wearing harnesses. I love harnesses.
Oh yeah, they have harnesses. So
Yeah, it's like my whole thing. I love it.
Kirk in what is it? The Gamesters of Triskelion.
Triskelion, yeah.
But I just want to point out that one of the cool things about the cruise is that there are a lot of people who can really let their freak flag fly, and some people that maybe they just have a spouse who's a big Star Trek fan or a friend, and they're not even that into it, but they love to keep coming back on the cruise because of the people, the culture, and just the niceness. Like, the Star Trek fandom is the coolest fandom. I know that there's some assholes in the Star Trek fandom on the internet. There's assholes in every fandom on the internet. But when you go to these events that people, actually have to put money and time and effort into get to, and I hate that it has to be paywalled. I wish we could just bring every Star Trek fan onto the stuff. But the people who actually are participating in these things, if you talk to the staff at the Rio in Star Trek, when they have Star Trek Las Vegas, they'll tell you, like, you people are the nicest people. We always love
we're always looking forward to the Trekkies
when you're doing
come.
your thing here.
Look at that.
Now, this is me and some Germans and Austrians, but
Oh wait, can you zoom in on this one then?
Yeah, so there's
wanna
actually
see these folks
there's
here.
a Green Orion man.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's cool. I noticed Gaze in Space had a whole booth or something like that.
There were a bunch
of
of gays in space
That's cool.
on here.
I love
but-
those shoes. I need to find these like neon light up shoes. Those are rad. What?
But yeah, I love the Festival of the Moon is probably that's my favorite night. It was the one I was looking the most forward to. And more cake from Neelix. So
I love it.
you
Good
can,
old
you
Neelix.
can dance the night away, then go have a midnight snack of some cake. And then go
Another
dance some more.
Orion, and
Here's
she's
an
also a
Orion
Hooters
from
girl.
Hooters.
That's so cool. Oh, you
And,
convinced Triangle Audio Studios to go on the cruise, and the harnesses convinced them as well.
Well,
This is gorgeous. Look at that water. It looks unbelievable. Like, that's crazy.
I'll just share this footage here of the Festival of the Moon party. But the pool deck on top of the ship is a great place to hang out with, because you can swim in the pool, or you can swim in the hot tub, or you can hang out at the bar, or, during the day.
Did it have a
you can...
slide to go into the, could you...
There is
have,
a water slide at the
Yeah.
back of the ship. Sorry, it was struggling to load the rest of this. And then they have the concert, and sometimes the band is playing out there, so I thought it was cool to, get out and enjoy the fresh air. Especially if there's great weather where you live, then you can go and enjoy the great weather there out at sea, and then the great weather at all the ports. This is St. Martin, which I loved the most of all the ports we went to.
That's right.
Me and Antonia liked it so much, we were actually thinking, yeah, what if we just, flew down here for the weekend sometime?
Oh, yeah.
We could do that. They have an
That's
airport
awesome.
that's, right next to the beach, that's where you can see airplanes come super low, right over your head before they land. It's really cool. It's trippy. We saw that with, a little plane, a little crop duster looking
Oh,
thing.
you know what? That's a famous thing, I think.
It is.
Right? There's, the beach. Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, it's actually, right here, right next to this beach. The landing strip for the airplanes is right to the left of this picture.
That's wild. So, if a 747 came in, it'd be this ginormous plane, 100 feet above your head or something
Yeah,
like that. It's crazy.
we weren't there when a big plane was coming down, but people have described you feel like the wind from that thing, and it's
so
really
wild.
trippy. It's really crazy. Yeah, beautiful place. It has the part of it is actually considered part of the Netherlands, and part of it is considered part of France. We went on a tour that took us from one side of the border to the other, and it has these strong European influences, but it's also very Caribbean.
Yeah.
We went to the rum distillery, got to sample a bunch of rum,
Oh, right on.
and have some rum ice cream. And went to the cheese factory, got some Dutch cheese.
Right on. Did you get some Houda? Do you know it's not pronounced Gouda, it's Houda.
Yeah, Houda.
Yeah. How do you do?
That's what our tour guide was telling us. It's actually pronounced Houda. I was like, how do you say that? And she was like, yeah, exactly.
All right, here we go.
This is
your
the captain's
Lower
retreat.
Decks dress uniform.
Yeah, this is me having a Romulan L at the captain's retreat, pre-gaming for the United Federation of Planets ball.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
And this lady was so cute as Counselor Troy, too. She did such an amazing job in this cosplay. And I asked her, can I take a picture with you? And she was all surprised. Oh, really? You want to take a, her, and then her husband walked by and was like, see, I told you everyone would think you would look good in your uniform. And
She does. Fantastic.
but
Dude,
yeah,
that
she was-
dress Lower Decks uniform looks great on you. I love it.
but the United Federation of Planets ball, that's a good excuse to wear dress uniforms. That's when you see the most Starfleet-y type dress up, I guess, where this dude walking around like he's the...
Did you run into our friend, the Dadmiral here?
I did see him in uniform, and I was like, I'll get a picture with him later. And then I never saw him again the rest of the night.
It's that big an event, huh? That you could actually not see someone again. It's so big. Wow. Yeah, it looks huge here. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. They kicked the thing off with Terry Farrell. She came down the stairs and
Oh, cool.
kicked off the party.
I no
and
longer
then the
say
DJ
Star
started
Trek
playing.
royalty, but if I did, I would say that Terry Farrell is Star Trek royalty. What did I replace it with? Star Trek legend. She's a Star Trek legend.
Oh, well, you should watch the clip from the new video game, because it pretty much opens up with Spock being like, "That's dumb to call me a legend." But
dang, I can't use.
You know what I'm talking about?
legend
The Star
now
Trek Resurgence video game. They released 7 minutes of gameplay. If people want to
check it out. Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah, I watched the first minute.
That's
I didn't
a
have time
console
to watch
game?
more than that. I think it's gonna be on PC also, but it's supposed to come out soon. They were saying spring 2022. I'm like, hey, it's gonna be spring in 2 weeks, right?
Hey, I know that guy in the middle.
Yeah, that's Thad, or at Tyrannicus. If you follow him
nice
on Twitter.
to see him.
You
Looking
can also
good.
listen to him on the Infinite Diversity podcast.
Yes, that's right.
So I got to see him and his friend Morgan, and Not
don't-
sure who this is, but
we've
they all
never
look super
seen
sharp in uniform.
We've never seen a dress variant of the Monster Maroon because it is kind of a dress uniform. I
It's
guess.
true. They wear those when they're on trial. So
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah, it just is
so
a dress
like
uniform.
people were just in dress uniform before, but that's I think the TNG, the one that Thad was wearing, is my favorite dress uniform. I think I would have to get
the
that one.
insurrection.
I take it back. Forget it. No, well, the disco ones are pretty cool too. The new disco ones from season 4. But yeah, no, I think the insurrection ones.
I
are
think
still
Lower
my
Decks
favorite.
is my favorite dress uniform.
Yeah, it looks good too. Damn, the dress uniforms are really good.
I mean, they're supposed to look good, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Did you notice I had the white boots too? was
Yeah,
wearing
I
the white
did notice
boots with
that.
it.
That was pretty rad.
This is a Walter Koenig during his panel.
Hey,
He did
check
a
him
Q&A
out!
panel.
Wow, how old is Walter Koenig now? Do you reckon?
Like 80.
Yeah, because Shatner's 90, so he's like in his 80s because he's still the
86?
kid. He's like the youngest of the group. So.
But he wasn't that much younger than Shatner.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
he's only like 5 years younger than Shatner.
Gotcha.
He
okay.
was, I think he was 30 when he got hired to play Chekhov. I mean, he looked like he was 22, but he was actually
Yeah.
30. So, but yeah, he's
the original Starfleet Boy.
he's getting on up there, but he's still pretty healthy. He was very nice and took questions from the audience. I didn't ask him anything, but he said, "Hey, I talked to the showrunner about being in Star Trek Picard. They said they could throw in Chekhov as a hologram, but I think that they're done shooting that show, so I guess it's not going to happen."
That's
But
terrible, man.
he's doing some other acting. He was just recently in some small indie film, and so he's still staying active.
That's cool.
is
Walter
the Deep
Koenig has
Space
such a great way of expressing himself. Just like I love his voice and his like kind of. He's such an intelligent person. Like
He
very
comes off as
well-read.
very relatable, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He very much kind of feels like an everyman type dude.
Yeah.
He's very friendly. I've only seen good interactions with him in the fandom, unlike some other original series actors.
Starfleet Boy Ahoy stays quiet for this segment.
But let's transition.
We're gonna have a shared experience with certain actors in Star Trek Chicago. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, maybe they'll get Walter out there too. That'd be cool.
That'd be really awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you're someone who, if you think this is cool, if you want to go see these actors, if you want to go to conventions and interact with these people, I recommend, do it. Don't put it off. Do it when you can, because we're only blessed with coexisting with them in this mortal world for so many years, and there's a lot that we can't see now. We can't ask Leonard Nimoy any more questions. We can't ask Aaron
James
Eisenberg
Doohan.
or take pictures with Renee Aubergenois. So do these things while you can, and cherish those opportunities. But
Well said.
Here's the Deep Space Nine panel with Terry Farrell, Nana Visitors, Cirroc Lofton, Casey Biggs, Max Gradinchik, Chase Masterson, and then I guess that's Lolita on the end, moderating.
Oh, cool.
Well, yeah, a lot of DS9 representation. I mean, it's easy to do with a show like Deep Space Nine, where there's so many damn characters. When you start doing like all the secondary characters, there's a bunch of recurring folks on there. So they have a very deep bench, but they're great to see. And this was the Klingon panel, moderated by Jordan Hoffman here on the left, but of course Kenneth Mitchell, Mary Chieffo, and then not one but two chancellors, because we have Laurel and Martok himself, Robert O'Reilly. So in this panel, I did ask a question of Kenneth Mitchell, and I knew enough to know that I needed to ask a yes or no question so he could answer, because he has to type, I think, with his eye. He uses his eye to type. So, but I asked him. I said, when I saw you in Vegas, you said that the Discovery writers had figured out a way for you to appear in Star Trek Discovery Season 4. There's only 2 episodes left of that season of Star Trek. Are we still going to see you on the show? And he nodded his head back and forth. So I think we're getting
something this
we're
week.
getting the return of Kenneth Mitchell.
Very cool. Very cool. Oh, that's really touching.
So, Antonia off camera. I don't know if y'all can hear her, but she's telling me that's a spoiler. I was like, I didn't. He could be playing any. He could be the. He could be
We've been spoiling that all
unknown
year.
alien species.
We've
Might
been
be
spoiling
Kenneth
that the
Mitchell,
whole
so-
season. But you're right. That is a spoiler, Fatheree. Shame on you.
So the same
Oh,
two
what?
dudes
F8s?
who, the same two dudes who made the. I think there were two of the
F9.
Andorians. They made the game headsets, and then here they are as two of the Picard synths, ready to go
This is
massacre
great.
Mars. So this is on
great.
Q's costume part. Luckily, they didn't get me. I was able to escape them.
Father, you have the chair vest, as Trek on the Tube calls it. You have that the Darmok jacket. That's
I do.
amazing. Oh my gosh, that's like my favorite. That's my favorite Picard look. Oh, and look who it is. Is that Kellen?
Yeah, that's
Oh my
Thrifty.
gosh, that's Thrifty.
So I
That's
got
Thrifty
to meet
Trekkie. That's
them.
so
I got to
awesome.
meet them in person. I followed them for a long time on Twitter. So
Wow,
they're really cool. They're really nice.
that's so cool.
Was able to
Hey.
get this picture. And they did a really good job as Kira. So
I'm sure.
I was honored. I was honored to snap this picture. I don't really show off their costuming, I guess, as much as I like. Oh, look, I got like my badge in frame. I make sure.
Was that your
make
first
sure
time
that I
meeting
look good.
Kellen, or had you met Kellen before?
No, this is the first time. We actually had met earlier this day, I think. Or no,
Oh, right
the
on.
previous day. There was the previous day. Yeah, it was the Ryza night. This is Q's costume party, where John Delancey judges a costume contest. So everyone's wearing their best cosplay. You know, I ran into Mark Twain. I ran into the Salt Vampire
This
from
is so great.
The Man Trap. I ran into Robin Hood and Friar Tuck from Cupid.
Did Mark Twain do his voice like this, Fatheree?
Not quite on that. I met Galron Eyes over here, which was really scary. Nightmare Fuel. But the Romulan commander playing
Oh, look at
pool
that.
with one of the DS9ers, and then this Andorian going peekaboo.
So good.
So yeah, I mean, like, how cool is that? Just like this picture. Imagine like you're on like the ship, you can step into this tavern, and you see these three playing pool.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
How fantastic is that?
I'm in agreement.
Oh,
Hey.
speaking of Stress Free K, Stress Free is here. So we were crediting you, Stress Free, in your observational skills of detecting the beverage of choice of Mirror Fatheree.
Wow, this is pretty
Mariner
cool.
and Ransom.
Yep. I love that. Man, the cosplays are so good. Look at all these different things.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you got like a big crowd like out on the dance floor for the
Are those the
Q's costume
Davidians?
party.
What are they
I
called?
think so. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's rad.
Zephram Cochran, I think, is dancing with a gender bent Judge Q, maybe.
Yes. And this ball was opened by John Delancey, right? You were saying? No.
Yeah, and he judges the costume contest at
That's right.
at the end.
There's that from Cochran. Wow.
Yep. There's Matt or Kumalo. I forget which one is not the blockhead.
I don't remember.
If someone remembers which beluga is which. But speaking of Cetacean Ops, here we have some Star Trek 4 recreation going on the middle of the dance floor. Yeah, some people would just spontaneously burst into character.
Yes.
I saw aerobics Troy and an aerobics Crusher start
This is
doing
so
like their stretch
good. Oh my
moves.
gosh, they nailed it. That's an amazing photograph.
Of course, there were multiple Gorn running around the whole time. So
Oh, nice Klingon.
brilliant looking Klingon. Yeah, I should have got a better picture of his armor. But
Very cool.
very good. And some of the stuff, it just looks so amazing. Like when you see it in person, you're like, oh my god, like you made this, or yeah, maybe you didn't make it, but someone made this. Like the amount of effort, like you didn't like walk into Kmart and buy this.
I'm so upset. I ordered that jacket from Anovos and it never came. Oh, it's Harry Mudd.
Yeah, Harry Mudd even showed up.
Right on.
Cybok was there. Cybok was present and accounted for.
He looks like Cybok, actually. There's a strong resemblance to Lawrence Luckinbill.
Yeah, I've flirted with the idea of doing Cybok cosplay.
Oh, you could totally pull it
This
off.
woman cosplaying Khan actually gave me this little miniature SETI ill. It was tiny. It was like a little baby. It's
That would
almost
freak
like
me out.
to scale, like the size like one. But she was so like, let me give you one of my pets. You should keep it. You should hold it close to your ear. It'll be nice to you. And she was like in like this weird character like the whole time. But I really liked this little thing, and it was so small and tiny. I forgot to pack it, and I left it on the nightstand. So my hope now is that when they came and cleaned my room, I think this thing might be so tiny that they might have missed it. And so now on the 80s cruise, someone is cruising and boozing on the 80s cruise right now, and they're going to go back to their cabin, room number 8291, and they're going to lay down on their bed, and they're going to roll over, and they're going to see this little tiny SETI eel staring at them on the nightstand.
That reminds me, I've got to order my helmet for my cosplay for Star Trek Chicago.
Oh, well, you better get on that. You have less than a month, right?
I know. It's pretty
About a
simple. I
month.
just need a helmet and a black gown and a cape.
Are you telling people
cape.
what you're doing, or are you leaving it to be a surprise?
No, I'll tell everyone. I'm going to be the supposed Borg Queen from episode 1 of Star Trek Picard season 2.
The character that the subtitles label as the Borg Queen.
Yeah, the Borg Queen, yeah. But there's a lot of people saying it's not the Borg Queen, but it is the Borg Queen. Anyways, that's who I'm going to dress up as. And that's, so if you see the Borg Queen, Kween, walking around Chicago, that's me.
This is the Women of Trek panel. So that's Nana Visitors on the left, Chase Masterson, Mary Chiefo, Jane Brooks, and then Terry Farrell. Nana Visitors is doing the documentary, A Woman's Trek, I believe is the name of it, and also writing a book. The original plan was for them to come out at the same time, but the documentary part might be delayed because she's trying to get interviews with some of the actors in the modern shows, and Nana was having a hard time getting like on stage to see them while they're working on the shows because of a lot of the COVID restrictions and stuff lately. So it might be a little delayed, but I'm very curious to check that out. And they were actually recording testimonials from people on the cruise. You know, a lot of like the lady fans and maybe even like some men, you know, might have had like testimonies they wanted to like submit into this. But yeah, the camera crew would actually like, you know, record footage of you you know, answering questions or something. Then they might use some of that stuff in that documentary whenever it comes out.
Right on.
So, you know, another reason to go to these types of events is you can be included in some of the stuff. This is the Star Trek Picard panel with Eva Nevagora, Issa Briones, and John Delancey. This is the day after they showed us the episode. So I should say that they actually showed us the new episode of Discovery and the new episode of Picard on the theater screen in this room, the Royal Theater.
Yeah,
so that was
it's
kind of
pretty
cool.
cool.
You know, Emily Coots and Wilson Cruz were in the audience watching that Discovery episode with us. And then we had, you know, these three.
She introduced
for
it,
Picard.
right? Like Emily Coots. Yeah, that's true.
And it just turned out to be probably the biggest Detmer episode ever. So
Yeah.
that timed out great for her.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And then the last two gifts we had were this bag and these Star Trek socks.
That's awesome.
And I'm about out of pictures. I wanted to point out they were showing the animated series on screen in the promenade. They had some animated series action on there. And next year is the 50th anniversary of the animated series. So I hope there's a lot of...
That's crazy.
Yeah, I hope there's a lot of celebration, because that's the show that I
Yeah.
think people are most likely to forget or ignore. There needs to be a lot of animated series love and attention next year in 2023. We need to do something animated series related on Star Trek The Cruise 6. So I'm starting the campaign, the big push for that now.
That's rad. And also, Starfleet Boy will be doing the animated series discussions around that time. So it'll be
No,
great.
I think we'll be done with it.
We'll be done with it. We'll celebrate the 50.
Yeah, we'll be doing that in like 12 weeks or so, right? We're like
Wow,
halfway
that's
through
cool.
season 3.
Yep.
I think next up Saturday we're doing Wink of an Eye.
Wink of an eye. This is cool that they did that though. Here's your
And-
last day.
Yeah, these are just like a couple final pictures that I threw in here at the end. And
That's a huge. I love seeing the perspective.
the big Voyager cake. But yeah, that's
awesome. That's all cake. That is a cake. Every single bit of it you can eat. That's amazing.
I don't I guess I don't.
Yeah, it must be right. Like
Here's
did
another
you-
thing too is like you You know, a lot of I love our German Star Trek fans, but they're the ones that are like the big sticklers for, you know, the technical details. And it was funny, you know, admiring this cake and taking a picture of it, and then this guy in a German accent standing next to me is like, "That's a nice cake, but the Voyager is so inaccurate. It
Well,
looks
that's not,
like
you
it
should have
looks
said
like
that's not
Voyager.
Voyager.
It looks like Voyager and Orville had a baby, yeah." This is what the man said. Why are you laughing, Antonio? You heard him say that, right?
I mean, it does look like that, but that is an accurate description. But I would keep that to myself. German man.
Yeah, the people worked very hard on that. It's like, can you do better?
That German man would be like, "Well, give me a cake, I mean, give me some stuff," and he'd be like, "Drrr," and you see this like perfect screen accurate Voyager that you can eat. That'd be funny. That was great. Were there any? Are there any like scoops that you got? You don't have to tell us any of the scoops, but do you feel like you got any scoops?
I think the big ones was Walter Koenig, I guess, had a conversation about showing up on Picard.
Right. Yeah.
And then Kenneth Mitchell doubling down on his return in Discovery. They don't really.
Do you remember any of the jokes from his comedy special?
I don't think I could deliver them as well as he did, but just yeah, when he opened for Garrett Wang's comedy, he killed it. Had the whole audience laughing pretty hard, and he gets a little serious at times and just talks about how ALS has part of how he deals with that struggle, and the darker aspects of that is through the many dark humor opportunities that it presents. And he's so funny all the time. Like during that Klingon panel, somebody had asked something about playing Klingons, and he said something kind of brief and said, "I could talk about this for hours and hours, but I know that Bob needs his afternoon nap." So making fun of I guess Bob O'Reilly is an older Klingon these days, but just like stuff like that, he's always like cracking up the audience. Let me tell you the story. He said that he was hanging out with his kid one day, and his kid said, "Dad, if you could not have ALS for 1 minute, 60 seconds, you have your full mobility back for just 60 seconds, what would you do?" And he said, like, being asked that from his kid, you know, it really had like a big impact. And like, man, like this child of mine is asking like this powerful question. And he thought about it, and, you know, had to take a long time with his eye to reply. And he said, "I would hug you and your sister and just spend 60 seconds holding you." And yeah, it makes you tear up. But then he says, "But then my son told me, wow, that's lame. I would spend it eating pizza and masturbating."
What?
And so it's like so Kenneth Mitchell has this
really
amazing
funny.
ability. He'll tell you
Like,
something that's like
yeah.
deep and like makes you cry, and
Yeah.
then just flips the switch and you are laughing your ass off.
I could see him pulling that off. That was a good story. You got me. That was cool. Antonia points out that the disco crew are helping him get some experimental treatment, so that's excellent.
He's talking about like going to Korea to get some stem cell treatment being done. How it's like the most painful, agonizing thing he'd ever gone through in his life. But he's telling himself, he's like, I'm Cole. I'm part of House Core. I'm a Klingon warrior,
I love
and he
that.
like helped him like power through it.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool. That's very cool. Audience, any other questions? I think we've asked you, like, are there any secrets left to plumb from the cruise? You have me super psyched about it. I don't know where I'm going to get the... I live in the Federation. We don't have money, so I'm not sure where I'm going to get the funds from. I'm going to have to sell some of my glasses and, like, some of my antique glasses and things. But I'm definitely going to try to go on the next cruise. If not the next one, definitely the one after.
People need to book soon.
Yeah.
I think they've made it publicly available now.
No,
When? March 15th. Okay, March 15th. Starting March 15th, they'll open
Beware
it to
the Ides of March.
the public. If you go on one cruise, you're allowed to book for the next one while you're on board the ship, and they give you a decent discount if you do that. But then a few days later, so I guess March 15th.
Like when you're in the club. I like that.
Yeah, they'll open it up to everyone else. So it will sell out fast, and they are launching out of Southern California next year. So it'll be the first year it doesn't depart the country from Florida. It'll leave from California. So if you're West Coast, that's going to be a great opportunity for you. It really sucks for the Europeans who like to go, because that adds another
That's a lot,
3 time zones to their already long flight. But if you're an Australian, it helps you out a little bit.
Oh, it's true. It does indeed. Very cool. Very exciting.
But yeah, it is a lot of fun. The 2 coolest Star Trek events that we have these days, I think, are Star Trek the Cruise, and then, even though it's not like the official Star Trek convention anymore, but Star Trek Las Vegas, we still call it that, or 56-year mission is what it's technically called, but everyone still says Star Trek Las Vegas. And the reason why those are the 2 best, in my opinion, because you're either all at the same hotel or you're all at the same ship. And so we're forced to have this proximity, and you can't help but, rub shoulders with each other, or rub elbows, whatever the expression is. But, like, people or fans and actors and everyone, like, you're going to the same bars, the same restaurants, you just see each other constantly. And it really helps cement that feeling of family. That, like I was saying, like, people who aren't even like huge Star Trek fans still like to go and participate in this stuff, because it is such a welcoming group. And I've heard so many people say, like, I'm normally kind of shy, and I might be like a big introvert, or I have a hard time talking to strangers and stuff like that. But here, when I'm at these events doing this type of stuff, I know that everyone is going to be friendly and welcoming, and I'm so comfortable opening up and embracing these new people and meeting these new people and having these great times. So
right on. I've never been to a Star Trek only event. I've only been to like comic book conventions that have like a Star Trek component to it. So I'm very excited about my first Trek only event being Mission Chicago, and I hope to hop on the other events as well as the years go on. So you definitely got me super hyped for the cruise, though, personally.
Oh, but yeah, there's nothing else quite like it. So
right on.
If any of this stuff looks fun, I mean, there's a variety of things. You can do the convention stuff, the cruise stuff, just chill out by the pool, relax, get a suntan, go sleep in your cabin, or watch Star Trek on the Star Trek exclusive channels, or go crazy and just get the drink package and party hard every night, and go do all the island tours, and then go see Robert Picardo sing show tunes with his old Broadway buddy. I mean, there's something for everyone to enjoy, I think.
Très cool.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and call it a day if that's all we got. I just would like to say that Starfleet Boy is always a great friend to do this type of stuff with, and that was one of my favorite parts of this whole experience, was getting to do something Star Trek related with him in person, and we'll be doing that again very soon in April. So if anyone else is going to be at Star Trek Mission Chicago,
go check out Tex-Trek from 2 weeks ago. We did it live from the hotel room. It was pretty fun. It was a lit party, and then this week we go all over again. So on Thursdays, we're doing Discovery discussion until Discovery ends at 7:30 p.m. No, sorry, 7:30 p.m.
So this is the week of the penultimate disco.
Yep.
For season 4.
And then we're going to do a space for Picard at 10 p.m. So it's like something new we're trying on Starfleet Boy's Twitter channel. Spaces is fun. We had a good turnout last time. And then Saturdays we do TOS. It's going to be Wink of an Eye.
Wait. We skipped Friday.
Oh, Friday. Oops.
Friday's hashtag TQIF.
That's right. Double header.
Get a live Tex-Trek podcast. Yeah, we're going to talk about disco and Picard. So that'll be. We're not gonna go over like 3 hours again. Though. That's.
I'm so
too long,
sorry.
but,
I held your audience for 3 hours.
We'll try to shave an hour off, but
You guys are so awesome, by the way. You have the best audience, seriously. Some of y'all cross over with Starfleet Boy, so thank you. But yeah, your audience is awesome.
yeah, we've cultivated a really great group, and I'm happy to see so many people here checking out our cruise live stream. But yeah, please come back Friday for hashtag TQIF, and then after the Tex-Trek live podcast, there's going to be a Starfleet Boy After Dark.
That's right. And I guess we'll hear some stuff about the Batman.
The Batman and
If you
Superman
come
and
on,
Lois
yeah.
is back, so it'll be kind of like
I'm
DC
all caught up on that.
focused.
Yep, a little Raised by Wolves and Picard, but not too much because we have a
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff with Picard.
Yeah, we'll go over that. That'll be awesome.
If you are a ship guy, then come to Starfleet Boy After Dark because we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about ships.
Drinking
We're a ship
and
girl.
shipping.
We're a ship non-binary person. It's, if you're a shippist,
a shippist,
yeah, then be there or be square, yo. But yeah, then Saturday, as you were saying, Starfleet
TOS
Boy
discussion.
TOS.
We're on Wink of an Eye is the next episode, and then Sundays we're going to be doing our Starfleet Boy Picard coverage, kind of a new format that we're trying out, which kind of builds on a little bit of what Tex-Trek does, but with the Starfleet Boy flair. My own personal stamp on the Tex-Trek model. I love Tex-Trek so much, I'm stealing your ideas, Fatheree.
Well, I don't know. Our audience overlaps so much. I don't know if we need to do like 2 of the exact same show, but
no, it's not gonna be. I promise it's gonna be different. We're doing. It's nowhere near as deep a dive. It's just kind of more of a tone poem.
He's basically saying like he's using screenshots now in his conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Nowhere near as many though, and as cool ones too. I just kind of I'm trying to keep to 20 screenshots an episode. That's it.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun covering the new shows with Picard. It's just been such a fantastic shot in the arm. I think it's just energized all of us. Then we have Strange New Worlds coming up in a few weeks. And of course, Prodigy and Lower Decks later in the year. So great stuff on the horizon.
Yeah, and I see Jeremiah's there. Yo!
Hi, Jeremiah. We'll go ahead and say goodnight for now. But as always, live long and prosper, y'all.